Lastly, men cheat because they are not sexually fulfilled. Now, sex and sexual fulfillment is a very important part in any romantic relationship. Now, we don't really talk about this much, especially in more conservative societies like in Asia, right? But sex and sexual fulfillment is a very important part of any marriage. And you will need to work things out. By right, sex will get better the longer you know each other and the closer you get in your relationship. But for a lot of couples, that is not the case because they don't really communicate or they don't dare to communicate about stuff like this in the bedroom. So they just resort to faking it or having headaches and stuff like that. But there is a solution to things like that because men cheat because they are not sexually fulfilled is a very real thing because when you're not sexually fulfilled in a marriage, okay, this happens both ways actually with guys and girls as well. If you're not sexually fulfilled in a romantic relationship, especially in a marriage, you will start to crave for that outside. That's when you will start to look for opportunities to get your sexual desires fulfilled elsewhere, right? And you might not go out actively looking for it, but sometimes when the opportunity presents itself, you might fall for it. The temptation to fall for it will be much stronger if you are not sexually fulfilled in your marriage. Because if you are, then you won't do it, isn't it? Because it's just like if you're already very full, you have eaten a lot already, and you have eaten a very full lunch, and if there's more food on the table, you won't eat it anymore because you're full. It's the same thing with a sex drive. If you're already fulfilled in your marriage, you won't risk destroying that by fulfilling it elsewhere. You get what I mean?
Thank you so much for listening. But before we continue, do you have a friend who is still single? Get them to scan this QR code with Wowwwz so they can get introduced to the love of their lives today. Just type WOWWZ and you can find us on the App Store or Play Store. You can change their lives today. So please share this with them. It's free. Links and details can also be found in the description below. Thank you.
So it's very important for you to have a sexually fulfilled life in your marriage. And if there are problems, there are many ways you can solve it, right? Even if you get older and biologically it's going to be hard for you to fulfill each other the common way, there are many ways you can fulfill each other using tools or using different medication or using different things. You just got to seek help. You just got to seek help from the right channels, the right doctors, use the right drugs, use the right medicine, or use the right tools or skills. There are many things you can do. Even if you cannot really do it anymore, there are still many things you can do to sexually fulfill each other in the bedroom. There's so much you can just Google and there are plenty out there, right? People, even in their late 70s, 80s, or 90s, can be sexually fulfilled. There are many ways to do that. Many people are just too shy to explore that or ask for help, right? The more you get to know each other, the more you communicate. By right, sex should get better in a marriage, and many couples are not really doing that. That's why men who are not sexually fulfilled will start to find the fulfillment outside of their marriage or outside of their relationship. So, men cheat because they are not sexually fulfilled is a very real thing and can be avoided if both of you work together to make sure both of you are both sexually fulfilled in your marriage. Now, if you already grew apart from your partner, and if there are other problems in your marriage or relationship, like you're resenting each other, or you have already grown apart and don't understand each other anymore, or already started to hate each other, then the marriage is really broken. Then, of course, it's going to be much harder for you to sexually fulfill each other because you just don't feel like doing it anymore because you already hate the person. But if that's not the case, there are plenty of remedies and methods that you can use to really sexually fulfill each other. So you got to try because you are in a relationship, and a romantic relationship, that is a very important part of your relationship. So you got to do that.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Do you agree on what I've just shared?
If you have any thoughts or interesting stories to tell me, do let me know by leaving a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. The love of your life is probably your friend's friend right now, and we can introduce you to the 60,000 single guys or 60,000 single girls in your extended network through this graph that we have built. So if you are single or know anyone who is single, do share this with them and get them to scan this QR code right here to meet other amazing single people in KL. Or if you're in Singapore, you can scan this one. You can also scan the QR codes in the descriptions below to meet other working professionals, students, lawyers, accountants, and people who like the same things and think the same way as you. Lastly, remember to like, share, and subscribe so more people can find true love. Alright? If you want to know why I've dedicated the past 10 years of my life trying to build an app that can help everyone find true love, you can watch this video right here. Or read about my 10-year startup journey in the links below. Subscribe, and someone will meet the love of their lives today.